What's going on, you guys? It's Logan here, back once again for another tutorial for you guys. Today we're going to be checking out alternate tunings and how to tune your guitar and stuff. So, first thing, you're going to need a tuner of some sort. Now, I recommend one of these things. These things are called snarks, and they're available on Amazon. You can get them from like 11 or 15 bucks or something. Link down in the description box. You also have the opportunity to go to the App Store and get a free one from your phone immediately at no charge. The one I use is Getchu, which is G-U-I-T-U-N-E, not affiliated with them or Snark, by the way. Any free guitar tuning app should work as long as it allows you to access alternate tunings, which Getchu does. Now the Snark, it won't tell you what to tune your guitar to, but it'll tell you where your guitar is at, and so this is just a convenience tool. I prefer this over an app any day. Now that we got that cleared up, let's jump into it. Can you tell I have a little bit of coffee today? Still working on my second cup. Alright, so your guitar should already be tuned to 88 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie. Standard tuning. That's why they call it standard, is because it's standard. Everybody uses that tuning to start with. Everybody learns on it. So we're going to be going based off of this. Where do we go from here to get a different sound or a different technique or whatever the purpose of the tuning is? Certain songs require different tuning to be played. By the way, I'll have timestamps down below, so if you know of any of the tunings that we're talking about, you can skip forward to the next one. The most obvious and first one we should be talking about is drop D, where basically it's the exact same thing as standard tuning, except your first string is going to be tuned down one full step. It's going to be the same note as your third string from your ceiling. So it'll say D, A, D, G, B, E. So like if you wanted to call this 88 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie, this one would be like Danielle 8 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie. Oh wait, no, that doesn't work. I'm gonna be demonstrating with a snark. So I'm gonna click this button right here on the face of it, and it turns it on. So the string I'm gonna play first is my lowest E string. And you can say, it says E right there. Now I'm gonna tune it down. Right there. Now I am in drop D. Just a couple examples of songs that use this tuning. We got Everlong by the Foo Fighters. Okay? Spoonman by Soundgarden. There are plenty of more examples. That's just to give you a taste. This is heavily used in rock music, as you can tell, and grunge, as it's a little bit deeper, a little bit more, it just has that, you know what I mean? The next most useful tuning is E flat standard. So that means you take all of your standard tuning, your E, A, D, G, B, E, and you put it down 1/2 step. That means you should have D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and D sharp. And make sure you know that this is going from closest to your face down to closest to your feet, okay? So D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, and D sharp. That's what your tuner should say. And also remember, all of this is going down in pitch. Make sure it's getting lower, not higher. So I put my guitar back into standard tuning, so it'll be just normal. And we're going to take each one of these down 1/2 step. That's D sharp, then G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, go, there we go, A sharp, and then D sharp. This tuning was popularized in the 80s and the 90s in some rock music, and really just the popular music of that decade. So you have lots of Guns N' Roses and Aerosmith, Alice in Chains, Motley Crue. All of these great bands were using E-flat standard tuning. So the next tuning we have on our list is D standard tuning. I use this tuning a whole lot. It's like one of those tunings that I just write all of my songs in because it really suits my voice, but I think especially for electric guitar, it really makes the guitar sound better in my opinion. To achieve this tuning, basically you take E-flat standard and you're just gonna take all of the sharps off of it. So it's D, G, C, F, A, D. D, G, C, F, A, D. So just take it down another half step from where we had it. That's a full step down from E standard, a half step down from E flat standard. Makes sense, right? So since we're already in E flat, we're just gonna tune it down another half step. So D, G, C, F, A, I could almost call this my signature tuning, but I wasn't the one who invented it. It is, however, in like all of my songs. So you know, that's that song, by the way. It's called Don't Need to Be Here. Go listen to it if you haven't, please. Link in the description. And then I have, like, you know, Turn Off the News. And I mean, like, what comes after this? Lonely, Define Me. Like, all of my songs are in this tuning. I'm wanting to start branching out a little bit more, but it really creatively works for me. And finally, the last tuning you guys need to know about is open tuning. Open tuning was created because of these things. This is a slide, and open tuning was made for a slide guitar. Now, you can play slide guitar on a regular guitar, but really it was made for one of these things. Now, what is open tuning? Open tuning, it just basically means you tune your guitar so that when you play open, it's a chord. And so they have different tunings for different chords. So you can have open D tuning, open G tuning, open E tuning, whatever you want. But that means if you just put a bar across any fret, it's a different chord. And so it really changes your songwriting abilities, and you're not as used to where you're going with the fretboard. So in a songwriting sense, it really changes things up for you and helps you kind of think outside of the box, because you're not familiar with what's going on your fretboard, and it allows you to maybe experiment a little bit and break out of your usual, and either get a different sound or get a different vibe or different melody ideas. So I personally love doing it. Here's how you achieve open D tuning. The tuning we're going for is D, A, D, F, A, D. Okay? You already have your D from the last tuning we did. And then the next two strings are going to be tuned up just as if they were in standard tuning. Then your F is going to stay the same. Your A is going to stay the same, just make sure it's in tune. And your D is going to stay the same. All we had to do to get from D standard to open D is tune up your A and your D strings. So now, that's what it sounds like when you have nothing on your fretboard. And now, you can and I came up with a little something for this, just to show you kind of what this tuning can do. if you wanted to experiment with other open tunings, just Google them and they'll tell you what notes you need each of your strings to align with. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and I'll be getting back to you shortly. And I wanted to extend an offer to y'all. I've been teaching guitar for like 2 years now, and I'm just since quarantine, I'm doing stuff over online. So that means Skype, Zoom, FaceTime, whatever works best for you. And I'm willing to give you your first lesson for free, so don't miss out on that. Go ahead and send me an email. I have my email down in the description box, and I look forward to talking to you soon. If this video has helped you, please remember to give it a like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I release future videos. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. You've been watching Logan's Lessons.